I was still on morphine when the text came. Don't bother coming. We don't need a burden. The locks are changed. The kids don't want you. It's over. 5 bullets, each one cleaner than the shrapnel that took my hand. I stared at the screen while the nurse changed my bandages. She said something about phantom pain. She had no idea. I didn't reply right away. I let the silence stretch. I watched the message sit there like a fresh kill. My stump itched under the gauze, as if the missing part of me wanted to strangle something. Then I typed 2 words, "As you wish," and made 1 call. Just 1. My lawyer answered on the 2nd ring. When I left for deployment, she cried. She told me to come home safe. She kissed my face like she'd never see me again. Maybe she already knew she wouldn't. The war took my hand, but peace took everything else. I remember the day before I shipped out. Our son clung to my leg, begging me not to leave. My daughter drew me a picture, stick figure me with a giant smile, arms around all of them. She colored the hands in red. I should have known. They visited me once after the surgery, sat stiff in the hospital room. My wife didn't touch me. My son looked at the floor. My daughter said, "When are you getting a real hand?" I told myself it was the shock, the fear, but her phone kept buzzing. She smiled at messages she didn't show me, walked into the hallway for calls, said she needed space to breathe. I gave her a continent's worth. I didn't ask questions. I asked data. Cell tower logs, private investigator, DNA test kits delivered discreetly. I wore patience like a sniper's ghillie suit. No accusations, no begging, just observation. Her solo retreats were anything but. He was older than me, richer. She'd been taking the kids to his cabin on weekends while I bled for a country that never called back. The PI sent me photos. One of my daughter on his shoulders, my wife leaning into his chest, my son holding a fishing pole beside a man who never learned to shoot. I studied the images for hours. Not once did they look back at the camera. Not once did they look like they missed me. I requested a paternity panel, not because I doubted, but because I already knew. The DNA envelope felt heavier than any rifle I ever carried. I opened it on my lap, alone in the half-lit apartment the VA assigned me. My daughter, 0% biological match. My son, 0%. My wife, I didn't finish reading. I didn't need to. The next morning, I had my lawyer file a full parental disestablishment motion. He hesitated, asked if I was sure. "They're not mine," I said flatly. "Biology isn't always what makes a father. Neither is betrayal." That night, her lawyer called in a panic. 25 missed calls, 26, 27. I watched the phone ring like it was someone else's tragedy I didn't answer. I sent the results instead. No words, just a clean scan of the DNA report, forwarded to both lawyers, her work email, and her new partner's corporate address. Then I made one final change. Removed them all as beneficiaries from my military pension, redirected it to a foundation for amputee veterans. She called, once, twice, left a voicemail, her voice breaking, breathless. "They didn't know, okay? You can't do this to them. You're still their dad." I played it again, paused at the word "still," as if fatherhood was a favor. I replied with 3 words, "File your appeal." Weeks passed. I didn't look back. People think revenge is loud, explosive, but it's not. It's a locked door behind you, and the sound of your own steps walking away. I didn't need to yell. She heard me in the silence. The kids never called. They never wrote. Maybe they didn't know what she did. Maybe they did and didn't care. Either way, I stopped waiting. In war, you learn that not every part of you come back, and sometimes that's the blessing. She thought I lost everything overseas. She was wrong. I came back with clarity. and left the dead parts buried where they belonged.